Bonjour guys! Welcome to the worldly gloomy channel, Gruzelboy. From a deranged psychopath who destroys evidence of his crimes by immersing his victims' bodies in acid, to a serial killer who enjoys kidnapping college girls. Here are 5 of history's most notorious serial killers, according to Gruzelboy. So take a deep breath, tighten the panties, and please enjoy! Number 1. Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer began killing at the age of 18 in 1978 and was not arrested for murder until 1991, when a would-be victim escaped and led police back to Dahmer's Milwaukee, Wisconsin home. Some of the gruesome details of his murderous life were revealed through photos of mutilated bodies and body parts strewn throughout the apartment. He even had an acid vat where he would dispose of victims. In total, Dahmer murdered 17 people, the majority of whom were young black men. He was imprisoned twice, once for molestation and once for murder, and was murdered by a fellow inmate in 1994. Number 2. Harold Shipman. Harold Shipman, also known as Dr. Death, is believed of murdering at least 218 patients, though the total is likely to be closer to 250. Between 1972 and 1998, this doctor worked in 2 different offices in London, killing the entire time, using lethal injection. He wasn't caught until several people raised red flags, including an undertaker who was surprised by the sheer number of cremation certificates Shipman was a part of, as well as the fact that the majority of the cases involved elderly women who died in bed during the day rather than at night. The investigation was screwed up, and Shipman continued to kill until he became greedy and attempted to forge a will for a victim that named him beneficiary, prompting the victim's daughter to become suspicious. He was convicted in 2000, and committed suicide in prison in 2004. Number 3. John Wayne Gacy. John Wayne Gacy, a construction worker known by his suburban neighbors as outgoing, John Wayne Gacy was involved in politics and even acted as a clown for birthday parties. He was no clown. Gacy came under suspicion in 1978 when a 15-year-old boy, last seen with him, went missing. That wasn't the only time families of missing boys had pointed fingers at Gacy, but it was the first time authorities took them seriously. Soon after, police were granted access to the Gacy home, where they smelled nearly 30 bodies buried in a 4-foot crawl space beneath his house. He was found guilty of 33 counts of murder, as well as rape and torture, and was executed by lethal injection in 1994. Number 4. Pedro Lopez. Pedro Lopez, one of the world's most prolific serial killers, may remain alive and breathing now. Pedro Lopez is suspected in over 300 murders in Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru. 1/3 of the victims were tribal women. Police discovered the graves of more than 50 of Lopez's predating victims following his arrest in 1980. Later, he was convicted of murdering 110 girls in Ecuador, and confessed to 240 more in Colombia and Peru. The monster of the Andes, Pedro Lopez was only imprisoned for 20 years before being released in 1998 for good behavior. His whereabouts have remained unknown for over 20 years. Number 5. Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy loved the attention his murders brought him, and many people in the United States were happy to oblige. The western United States was his hunting ground, with an undetermined number of murders, mostly of college-age women, accumulating from Washington and Oregon all the way to Utah and Colorado. Bundy was arrested and convicted of kidnapping in Colorado, but he escaped and moved to Florida, where he murdered multiple times more. Bundy's final arrest and its aftermath captured the attention of the nation, as the accused murderer acted as his own lawyer during what is believed to have been the first televised murder trial. Welcomed interviews, and boasted of the fans he had created. He was eventually executed in an electric chair in 1989. What do you think? Just imagine, for example, the people closest to us are humans like Pedro Lopez. What will you do? Please share your opinion in the comments section. If you like this video, hit the like button. And if not, please hit the dislike button, because that's what it's for. and please subscribe! I and the Gruzelboy team would like to thank you for watching. Have a good life, and see you in the next video!